Fahrenheit 451, which is the temperature at which books burn. This is a summary of Ray Bradbury's dystopian classic. The main character in this book is a fireman called Guy Montag, and his job is to burn books. In this dystopian world, firemen don't put out fires, instead, they start them. And they burn books and works of literature with their fire. The Spark of Doubt. In this book, fireman Guy Montag burns books, enjoying his job, until he meets his young neighbor, Clarice McLean, who forces him to question his happiness. A single question from Clarice shatters Montag's illusion of a contentment, forcing him to re-evaluate his existence. Clarice talked about the lost organic world, making Montag realize that he is miserable truly, deep down. Next is a mechanical overdose. Mildred, Montag's wife, overdoses on sleeping pills, and the technicians treated her as a machine, making Montag feel even more depressed, and that they were almost not real humans anymore. Next, during a call on duty of Montag's work, a woman refuses to leave her books, and she decides to be burned with her books. There must be something in books that we can't imagine to make a woman stay in a burning house. The event haunts Montag, leading him to break the law and take some books from the woman's library. Next, the threat, the mechanical hound. The mechanical hound is programmed to hunt and kill dissents via lethal ingestion. The mechanical hound starts to be aggressive at Montag. Maybe it sensed his guilt and distraughtness. Because of his deep distraughtness, Montag grew sick, and Beatty went to Montag's house to lecture him on the history of firemen, while the stolen book sits hidden just inches away under Montag's pillow. And during the talk, Mildred tried to move Montag's pillow, ultimately finding the book. The search for substance. Montag reveals his stash of books to Mildred, desperate to find what was so important inside those books. However, Mildred thinks the books as useless and fake. She is terrified of losing her family, the characters in the parlor walls. Mildred was also about to betray Montag. But before that, Montag realizes that he cannot process this knowledge alone. He needs a teacher. The cowardly mentor. His name was Faber, and he was a retired English professor who will be a crucial mentor to Montag. He recognizes the importance of books, leading them to become a team together to save themselves. They talk to each other using the green bullet, an earpiece. Next is an alarm. One day, after Montag was getting well after sick, he went to his work, and the alarm rings. The crew rushes to the Salamander, their vehicle. To Montag's surprise, the truck stops in front of Montag's own home. It turns out that Mildred had set the alarm. She sacrificed her husband to save herself and her family. She betrayed Montag. Next, burning the bridges. This is the climax of the story, and Montag turns to kill Beatty when Beatty announces that Montag was under arrest. As he dies, Beatty does not fight back. When running away, Montag suddenly realizes that Beatty wanted to die. Montag destroys the mechanical hound, however suffering a leg injury, grabs the remaining books he has, and flees into the darkness. Next is a manhunt, or the hunt for Montag. During his hunt, Montag stopped at Faber's house, where he asked Faber to burn everything he touched and use alcohol to mask his smell. A new mechanical hound is borrowed from a nearby city, and the chase is broadcasted live on TV. Montag runs to the river, to try to hide his scent so the hound would not be able to follow him. Into the silence. A television chase demands a conclusion because Montag ran away to the river where the mechanical hound cannot catch his scent anymore. Police identify an innocent pedestrian as Montag. The broadcast says that Montag is dead. The authorities try to maintain the illusion of total control, even though the man was just an innocent pedestrian. Some might notice, but the kill was very fast, and the camera did not zoom up on the fake Montag's face. However, his friends and family might even think that it was really Montag. Next is the living library. Montag encounters with the book people, whose leader, Granger, says that they preserve books for memorization. They are not hiding books, they are the books. In this group, each man memorizes a text to recite it when society is ready to rebuild. Montag's contribution is to remember the book of Ecclesiastes, where he had a small time before. The fall of the city. The war, hinted throughout the story, ends the city instantly. A bomb drops on the city. The impact is that the Mildred, the parlor walls, the firehouse, and the civilization that rejected knowledge are erased in a millisecond. The book people is going to rebuild the city from the ashes, and their group survived because their group survived the shockwave in the countryside. The men resolve to help the survivors rebuild a new world from the ashes. And fire is no longer for burning, it is for warming.